It's June 2nd, 2023. Hi, how are all my continuous liners doing? I'm out here on the streets of La Ciudad de Mexico in Condes. I'm at one of my local cafes. Very pretty. It's called Spoiled. I'm just getting myself all set up here. This place is usually very, very, very sunny, and I can't do it, but they have this new awning, and he just opened it for me. Closed it, opened it. He opened it for me, because when I've tried to do live streams here, I'm completely blinded. The sun is that morning sun. Beautiful, right? Look at this. Got my beautiful latte. Let's see. You know, it's Friday morning. You need a strong coffee. Maybe I do. Let me have a sip of this. Oh my God, that's so good. Delicious, delicious. So yeah, today is the first day of my June fundamentals class. Yesterday was the first day of June. Today is June 2nd, and we start the June fundamentals, continuous line fundamentals. And what does that mean? Well, it means we kind of start, not at the beginning, but we start kind of the warm-ups kind of at an elementary place. You know, over the course of a month, I take things a little bit more complicated. And so at the first of the month, because there's new people in the group, I kind of go back to basics, right? And then over the course of the month, things get a little more complicated, right? Like, it doesn't even take much to make it more challenging, because sometimes, like, even a coffee cup on a table with the person can be complicated, or it can be simple. We did like mermaids on a rock, and you know, that can be a simple thing or a complicated thing, right? So, but the challenge is to, like, how does your continuous line tell the story, right? I mean, I honestly, if I didn't create this, I would sign up for it. Hey, I kind of like that. Honestly, I think it's some of the coolest, you know. Having done workshops for many, many, many years, I know oftentimes women are the ones that are mostly signing up for my workshops. Every woman wants to do a pretty watercolor painting. I get it. I get the allure of wanting to do a pretty watercolor painting, right? That was never my goal. I have more of an illustrative bent, right? And so I had to create the thing that I was more interested in, because there's a million watercolor classes out there, and no disrespect to any of them. It's a highly, highly coveted skill to be able to do watercolor. It still eludes me in many ways, because the whole thing with water and light and transparency, and I mean, it's a great tool to capture light, but there are tools, right? So anyways, big props to all the watercolorists out there. But honestly, my thing has always been more drawn, more illustrative, right? Like, I remember saying, not long after I had said I wanted to be a modern farmer, and then I started working on cattle ranches, I said I wanted to be an illustrator. And in my mind, just because I know things, you know, you don't just wake up and be an illustrator. It's a long road of, like, education and practice and study and working for the man. Now, I'm at an age where I've worked for the man for many, many years, and I'm not opposed to working for the man, but I really don't want to work for the man, right? So I was not going to be going back and doing, like, agency stuff. Here comes a grown man on a scooter. There he is. It always sort of fascinates me. I'm like, a grown man on a scooter with a helmet going to work, right? It's a whole new era, isn't it? Here, I'm going to let you do a little people watching, because it's honestly part of some blah, blah, fun thing to do here in Mexico City. All right, let's do some line warm-ups. Oh, wow, it's almost 9. I don't have much time. Oh, I mean, I'm okay, but my fundamentals class starts in just a little over an hour, and it's not too late if you want to sign up. let's see. I'm going to start over here because it's most awkward. I'm going to start in the upper right-hand corner. You can't see that because it's a very... Let's see. If I turn it this way, then it's no longer the upper right. It is the lower right, which is fine, right? A little sweeping action. Although, I do need to pause for coffee because it's coffee time, all right? So, gosh, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's a member of this group. Now, I looked this morning, there's 611 people. I wish 611 people would be drawing. But that never works like that, right? There's never a true number with these Facebook groups because you get spammers and people are just creeping and people, are just curious and don't do anything, right? And maybe it'll inspire them to someday do something, right? So, yeah, we've got over 600 members. I don't know how many active drawers there are. There's much less than that, but I am just thrilled at how much this group is growing. I know that, there are artists who are joining this group, right? Now, whether or not they're participating, I don't even care, right? I'm just trying to share the message of... This is this classic Mexico City. The junk seller. We want to buy your mattress, your drums, your refrigerators, your stove, washing machine, and your clothes, and anything else you want to sell. It's very classic, right? Like, they've been playing that same recording for, decades. It's the same, there's this whole mystery, is it a young man or a young boy, young woman? And it has been revealed it's a woman. But it was literally recorded decades ago. And there's several of these trucks that drive around the city, and they're looking to buy your junk, right? It's a classic thing. I grew up in Chicago. It's 588-2300 Empire. It's just it's just a classic city sound, right? Anyways, it was kind of loud, so I couldn't hear myself. Now I'm back. I'm back here with my feet on the ground and my pen on the page. I'm doing my continuous line warm-ups on a sunny, beautiful day in a cafe in Condesa. Yeah. All set to go for my continuous line fundamentals. So, one of the gals asked me this week, what is the point of doing these warm-ups? And here, I'm going to tell you because, I've had people look at me and go, what the hell are you doing, right? And this continuous line practice of not drawing anything is to strengthen and condition your arm to move through your pen strokes, to just keep moving. Oftentimes when people start sketching, even when people have been sketching a long time, very sketchy. And that's a style, and that's a very cool thing, and I'm not knocking it at all, but this conditions your arm, your hand, your pen, your eye-hand coordination to just keep moving through, because oftentimes what happens is people get scared when they're drawing. Oh no, I don't know how to draw that. And so there's a whole energetic reaction of not breathing and lifting up, right? Because there's fear, right? I mean, it can be looked at as an irrational fear. Oh my God, what do you mean you're afraid to draw? It's a real thing, right? Those of us who have it know, right? There's a lot of things built into being an artist, right? A lot of messages that we got from when we were younger, and just over the course of a lifetime, just being shot down here and there, right? So anyways, this is, first of all, to condition your hand to keep moving through your strokes and to just develop strength, right? It develops line strength because you even if you're just going back and forth doing lines, there's a tidiness to them, right? There's some collisions, but generally speaking, and collisions are fine. Generally speaking, there's a tidiness to my lines, and I'm not giving it much thought. I do this a lot, so it's kind of second nature. But this is how we start every workshop that I do, every class that we do. Everyone spends a little time doing these line warm-ups where you're not drawing anything. Now, I've had artists urban sketchers, they honestly can be a pain in the butt because they feel like they know everything. I'm an urban sketcher, so I feel qualified to say that, right? And when I had some urban sketchers in my workshop, they were like, I'm bored, I don't want to do this. And so the first thing I want to say to that is, don't do anything you don't want to do. If this is boring to you, go off and be your smart aleck self elsewhere. Go express your worldly knowledge elsewhere. Oh, so nice. Oy. They're extending the awning over to the street, and it's beautiful. It's huge. It's had to cost a fortune. Right? So, there's people that look at this and feel like they don't have time for it. And I get it. I used to be in that space too, right? Like, I already know how to draw. What do you want me to do this for? Well, I did know how to draw, but drawing is a lifetime learning skill. I don't think you ever get done, right? I'm going to speak for myself. I don't think I'm ever going to be done. I'm going to keep drawing for the rest of my life, which means I'm going to practice for the rest of my life, right? So this skill, exercise, can look monotonous and boring and silly and stupid. And if that's your opinion of it, please move on. Please move on. Don't waste my time or your time or anyone else's time complaining about something that you don't believe in, right? I don't have time for people like that. Well, I do, because I like to convince them, you don't know what you're talking about, try this, right? Look at that, there's one little heart in my coffee. Isn't that adorable? How'd they get that I wish I could take a photo of that. One little heart in my coffee, it's so cute. All right, so these line practices strengthen eye-hand coordination so that when your head says, oh, please draw that cat for me, your hand goes, no problem, because you have a command of where your hand is going and a command of where to put it on the page, right? Now, that doesn't mean you're going to draw a beautifully accurate cat every single time. I'm not in the business of perfect drawings or helping people to achieve their goal of drawing perfectly. If you want to draw perfectly, I highly recommend you going architecture school where they beat it into you to draw perfectly straight using rulers and lines and computers and all that good stuff. Me personally, I'm too old for that. I'm not opposed to going to school or taking classes, but I'm not starting from the beginning, right? I work very hard at conditioning my lines, but in a way that is has meaning to me, right? Like these exercises work for me because they're strengthening my lines. I can draw much more accurately, much more quickly, right? Like, for example, I went to the night of the museum the night before, and there's some Monet paintings here in Mexico City, and so I went to the night of the museum at the National Museum of Art because I wanted to see the Monet paintings. They're here for a couple months. Well, anyways, the line was ridiculously long. Hundreds of people who want to see the Monet too, and I was like, okay, I'm not going when it's super crowded. So I stayed out front and I drew part of the crowd, the gal standing in front of me, two girlfriends waiting, clicking away on their phones. And I drew that in under 10 minutes. Continuous line urban sketching. And then I went around the corner and I drew, all the kids were sitting at the steps of the horse statue, right? And it was it's the sign of the times. All the kids sitting there looking at their phone, right? On a beautiful starry night in Mexico City. Almost full moon, clouds, puffy clouds. There's nighttime, but there's lots of city lights, right? So anyways, I drew that. I mean, I did my continuous line urban sketching of 2 drawings that honestly in the past would have taken, I would have been out there I would have only done 1, right? And I'm not saying the goal is to be a fast urban sketcher, but I like being a fast sketcher. You know why? Because I feel like my drawings are more expressive. They've got more personality. They've got more charisma. Because I didn't go, oh, let me draw a straight line. Oh, let me get this accurately. Oh, let me do this right. And that's how a lot of us draw, right? Like, oh, if I'm going to do this, I got to do it right. And this continuous line practice, honestly, it's just helping me get it more to my style, right? Getting more to how, just a more expressive kind of line drawing. Sometimes I get it really good and sometimes I don't, right? Like, there's no guarantees that it's still always going to be a winner. But I love the practice of it, and I'm going to keep going at it. I love it, right? And I love to encourage others to do it, right? So this line exercise, as elementary as it looks, is super, I feel like there's a word that's escaping me. It's super helpful to have you become a stronger drawer, right? And then after this, we move into pattern making, which moves us into like drawing more things, right? Drawing coffee cups or something like that, where your ego does get involved, right? And so we ramp up to doing continuous line urban sketching, right? Where you're doing complicated things like a whole city scene, right? You're doing a guy selling hot dogs with a street lamp, with a building, with a person walking a dog, and you can do that all in one line. And I've heard people say, my God, I can't even believe how I can draw, the things I can draw just with continuous line. And I'm like, I know. I feel the same way. I'm able to accomplish more with my continuous line. So, first thing, the first benefit is that it helps you push through your drawing fears, right? Push through it, just keep going. I don't care if I don't know how to draw it, I'm just going to keep going. Number 2 is you understand comprehension, right? I can go from my coffee cup into the bench, into the counter, into the barista, into the coffee machine, right? Boom, boom, boom. Forward, what is it called? For up close. I know there's a word for it. Middle ground and background, right? Like there's a pathway through if you let your eye follow the line. And then you let your line follow the line. You let your eye and your line follow the line of the story in front of you, right? So, so that helps you comprehend composition. And then number 3, it builds confidence because you go, oh my God, look what I just did. Look at what I just drew in a matter of minutes, right? I drew this whole thing. So then you feel like, yeah, baby. And then you're encouraged to do it again and again and again because it makes you feel good, right? It's not creating like, oh, I'm the worst artist. Now, we all have that. I mean, that's just as part of being an artist, I think, for everyone, right? We just have times where you're like, I'm not very good at this, or I'm having an off day is probably a better way of saying that. I'm having an off day and I can't get it together, right? Well, honestly, and I get it, I've had days like that, but these exercises help you get it together because it helps to ground. It helps to ground us. It helps to, all right, yeah, I look at the news and it looks like the world is about to end and the sky is falling and all that. But if I just start drawing lines, it's like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, and I'm going to go easy on myself, and I'm going to go easy on others, right? I'm going to go easy on myself and easy on others. I'm going to have a little sip of coffee, though. Ooh. Jeez, I almost knocked my coffee over. That would be tragic. Absolutely tragic. I'm getting my Chicago accent back. That would be tragic to knock over my coffee. Tragic. Hey, how about the Bodias? Or all three of ya? All three of ya, get out of my way. I always love that. First of all, there's like a numbering like this. Like, yeah, all three of them. And then 3 is tree. And the both of you is the Bodias, right? And hot dogs are hot dogs. How about a hot dog? I can't wait to go to Chicago and have a hot dog and some pizza. I'm not even a big junk food eater, but I miss my Chicago hometown food. My God. I really do. I'm going to do one more in the middle here. Go easy on myself, go easy on others. Go easy on myself, go easy on others. It's Friday morning, going into the weekend. I hope we all have some fun summertime things planned, and that maybe you'll draw them and share that story with us in the group. Maybe you're an urban sketcher, you're going to go out with your urban sketching pals. Well, feel free to turn your urban sketch into a continuous line urban sketch and be the first one done and be the first one at the restaurant, so you can choose the best seat that has the best view, where you have the best attention of the waiter. I'm telling you, there's all kinds of benefits to being a continuous line urban sketcher. You'll get the best seat in the house with the best service. All by being a continuous line urban sketcher. I'm telling you, it's magic. It's magic. It's magic. My life is magical. No worries at all whatsoever, because I am a continuous line urban sketcher. And I jest, but I do love being a continuous line urban sketcher. It's super cool. It's honestly one of the greatest hobbies in the world. There we go. I'm going to finish that up there. We got the double heart here at the Cafe in Condesa, which I think they just turned up the music, but that's all right. That's what these hip places do. They play the music for the kids. I was at a place last night, and I swear to God it was funeral music, but all the kids were like, as cool funeral music, right? You know, it's not my generation. No, I'm older. I have to step aside and let these things, and I can't be like, kids these days, let's take away their books and take away their rainbows. No, I'm not going to be like that. All right, everyone, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Don't forget to do your lines. Finish big with a heart. I'll see many of you in the fundamentals, and then see you back on Monday. Have a great day. Bye.